Massive.
All right, Dean, thank you very much for taking the time to sit with us today.
My pleasure. It's great to be here.
Now, I'm going to get out of the way straight up.
Ready to go.
X Files.
You know it. Reboot, here it comes. 6 episodes, closing the whole show.
Have they made the call?
They have not.
Ooh.
But they haven't written all the scripts yet.
Okay.
So they read the first 3, they're shooting those, and then they're going to see from there how to write the last 3. And then if typically how the gunman worked, if the script's too long by like 10 or 15 pages, then what they do is cut those scenes and then compress all that information and give it to the lone gunman to say or do to get Mulder and Scully inside a top secret facility or whatever, you know. So that's pretty much how it's going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. So the lone gunmen, they work really well in that period of time.
Right.
So how do you think they will adapt to this new age with the technology?
I think that we're going to be seen in the hot tub. We're high-tech entrepreneurs. We made millions of dollars, and we're all sipping champagne and sold out to the man. I don't know. I have no idea. But that's exactly right. You know, hacking is so common now. Snowden and NSA has revealed that everything we had said in the show early on is all actually true. So there's going to be a lot of heavy lifting to get to whatever the next level of that of what we did now in present day.
Just with the accessibility of information, like is that if there's any information they couldn't get to, that's talk to the gunman.
Yeah.
But now they can just be like, I'm just going to Google that.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just use my phone. Exactly. I got all the information the gunman had back in the day.
Now, another thing which interests me is you do have your own podcast.
Yes. For 9 years now. We're on the 9th year, free every Monday, Chill Pack Hollywood Hour.
Beautiful. Now, I know you've made the jump to, you've guested on some other podcasts, keeping with the X Files. I know you've talked to the X Files.
Yes.
Great show.
Yeah, did you enjoy that?
Love it very much.
Fantastic.
That's the level of fandom. We'll get to that in a sec. But with podcasting, why do you love it?
I love it because it's its own medium. It has a ability to connect directly to those who want to hear. It's not like a mass broadcast. It filters out to exactly who wants to hear what you're talking about, sort of thing. So it's me and my co-producer Phil Arness, and basically it was our production meetings on air that then became these long-winded and yet humorous conversations about film and culture.
Well, does your stand-up past, does that link with the podcast? Does it make you, it gives that freedom of improv?
Yeah, I don't try to be super joke heavy on my podcast. I leave that for other shows, sort of thing.
I mean, in sort of comparison of the freedom. So when you go to an improv stage, you can do whatever you want. You can take wherever you go. Is that the sort of feel you get out of podcasting as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no restriction. There isn't any advertisers going, "Oh, listen, don't talk about the freedom." You don't have any of that. So there is that freedom, absolutely. And there's also no pressure, which is how we got to 9 years. You know, it wouldn't be if it was like, "Oh man, we got to get these things together." It's like, no, we have to meet every Monday to talk about the movie that we're making or the project that we're working on. So why not just turn this thing on while we're talking about that and record that and put it up online?
Beautiful. So you can make what projects you have going on. What are you doing? So I noticed, so you've got Sci-Fest as one thing you've been working with?
Yeah, Sci-Fest is the first, well now it's the second annual science fiction theater festival. So last year we did a play that was by Ray Bradbury that we did, and then this year Neil Gaiman wrote a play for it, so it's a kind of a big deal. Now going to be Sci-Fest London as well.
So there's a lot of really good names.
Yes, there's
bringing in.
Yeah, they're bringing in all the sci-fi actors that you know from these conventions and putting them all into one theater to see really cool science fiction plays.
How do you go about bringing all those people together and making them work?
Well, exactly. It was really hard to do, actually. There was, you got to hand it to the producer, David Dean Bottrell. He works tirelessly, 16 hours a day, making those contacts, coming to conventions like these and approaching people, going, "Hey, we're doing this festival, we really like you to be in it." And a lot of actors really love doing theater. It's just about, the amount of time it takes, amount of rehearsal. So the joy of doing a series of one acts in a festival is that it's less time commitment and you're not going to be blocked for 3 to 6 months in a stage. It just, you have like 2 or 3 weeks of rehearsal and then 2 weeks of theater in rep, and then you're out. So it's handy that way.
And to like having all those names come in, you already have that level of fandom, which is great for you. It's essentially easy publicity.
It's easy publicity, and you know, a lot of these things we all meet and you chat briefly, you know, in the green room and that sort of thing. But it's actually more fun to actually work with these actors on stage, like Will Wheaton and I doing a thing. We did War of the Worlds as a radio play, and Will Wheaton was the Orson Welles character. And it was just, you know, I know him, I've seen him at the cons, we have a laugh all the time. But then to actually be on stage and actually like working with him brings sort of a new level of like respect and friendship, actually.
So yeah, so obviously coming to conventions, obviously working with other people that are involved with big fandom sides things.
Yeah.
How do you? Obviously, you must love
Totally
the fandom side of things.
Oh yeah, I love the fandom. Being a fan of myself, I go to a lot of these in the artist alley and stuff like that. So you know, picking up pieces of work that I treasured since a kid. So it's really great that way.
Well, and the fandom's great. As I said, you can create a podcast just about somebody else's show, literally reviewing somebody else's work.
I know, right? Isn't that fantastic?
It's great. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
You,
now,
guys.
Of course, whenever I chat to someone, I always like to give them the chance to pimp their wares.
Okay, top to bottom, DeanHaglund.com, Twitter, DHaglund, Chillpack Hollywood is the podcast, chillpackhollywood.com, spelled CHILLPAK, Hollywood.com. And you can see everything from my website. Click on all the buttons and it takes you everywhere else you need to be.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys.